Long-term unemployment is costly both for individuals who lose valuable skills and experience, as well as the government, which is now providing unemployment insurance benefits to workers for up to 99 weeks. What impact does long-term unemployment have on workers' future employment prospects?
Well, that is one of those areas where the economic research is pretty clear that the longer somebody is unemployed, the harder it is for them to become reemployed. That's why I think, at least for me, one of the absolute most important things to watch coming out of this recession is what happens to the long-term unemployed, because it is at a very high level.
And when unemployment benefits run out, what typically happens to the unemployment rate?
I'm not sure that I necessarily see a big impact on the unemployment rate when those numbers work out. You know, people are more likely to stay in the labor force when they're receiving benefits. So there may be some issue where people stop looking once their benefits run out, so that may have an impact on the labor force. But it's not been clear, at least in this data yet, that that's having an impact. It hasn't been in the past.
Thank you. When arguing for stimulus, the President's economic advisors issued a report projecting the likely effects of unemployment and output with and without a stimulus, similar to that which eventually passed. The President's advisors projected that the unemployment rate would be about 6.8% today if stimulus was passed, and about 8.2% if stimulus was not passed. What is the unemployment rate today?
It's 8.8%.
And the President's advisors projected the total payroll employment at the end of 2010 would be about 138 million with stimulus and about 134 million without stimulus. What was the level of payroll employment at the end of 2010?
Let's see. How about if I tell you January? I've got that one handy. It's about it's 130,260,000.
So that's lower than the President's estimates.
Yes.
Massive increases in federal government spending have been aimed at increasing employment. Can you reconcile the poor job market with the effects of this spending?
I wouldn't speculate on that.
Are there indications that private employers are wary of hiring new workers, given the uncertainty surrounding the new health care entitlement and the looming U.S. fiscal crisis?
Yeah, I don't have any view as to why hiring may be slower.
So you can't speculate on, is it possible that the huge amount of spending in the country's indebtedness has been counterproductive to job creation?
I just wouldn't want to comment on that.
Okay. The recession has been characterized by a large exit of workers from the labor force. The labor force participation rate has dropped nearly 2 percentage points since the recession began. Is the absolute number of workers in the labor force smaller now than before the recession, and by how much?
In terms of payroll jobs, we're down by almost 7.3 million payroll jobs.
And why have workers left the labor force?
Oh, I'm sorry. The question was a labor force question? Yes. I guess it's various reasons. This is part of what always happens during recessions, and you know, the unemployment rate goes up, and to some degree that doesn't tell you everything what's going on in the labor market, because lots of people are dropping out of the labor force. It doesn't show up in the standard unemployment rate. Yeah, well, the labor force level is is about 500,000 below what it was before the recession started.
And
that's despite the population increase. So.
Yeah, and what can you tell us about workers re-entering the labor force?
We'll pull up some data here. I guess. Okay. Yeah, the levels are still low. People who are coming from unemployed to employed, that still hasn't picked up much. That's still in and out of the labor force. That's still at a fairly low level. It's well below prior to the recession.
Okay, thank you. I see my time has expired. I yield back.
Thank you, Congressman. Congressman Duffy.
Thank you.